Thomas and friends, making tracks to great destinations.
Dear Christopher, here is your friend Thomas the Tank Engine. He wanted to come out of his station yard and see the world. These stories tell you how he did it. I hope you will like them, because you helped me to make them. Your loving Daddy.
The island of Sodor is surrounded by a beautiful blue sea. There are trees of green and sandy yellow beaches. There are rivers and streams and lots of trees where the birds sing. There are rivers and quarries and docks where the visitors to the island arrive. The island also has loads of railway lines. Who's that puffing down the track? It's Thomas! Hello, Thomas! Hello, everybody! And welcome to the island of Sodor. Every Halloween night, the engines always try to get their jobs done as fast as possible. Why? Because when it's Edward's turn to tell a spooky story, actually, I'll let you see. Hearing is believing. One spooky night on the island of Sodor, Thomas had just puffed into the docks. Sir Topham had let him take the fireworks. These fireworks were for the children to watch on that Halloween night. Sir Topham Hatt was with him. Now, Thomas, I don't want you to be careless like last time, he said. We don't have enough fireworks for another. You got that? Sir, yes, sir, Thomas said. Thomas had left the docks. Thomas didn't know how he was feeling, but there was a feeling he had, but it was empty. That night at Tidmouth Sheds, everyone was telling spooky stories. It made Thomas worried when it was Edward's turn. Edward began. On Halloween night, be careful if you have to take any trains. If you pull the wrong brake van, it could be the end of your days. This had once happened to a little engine pulling the mail train. He had a red brake van and his name was Robert. The engines quivered and shivered in the freezing air. All but Thomas. He boasted, that wasn't scary at all. Edward stayed quiet, smiled, and slowly went back into his shed. That's when Sir Topham Hatt came. Thomas, he boomed. Those fireworks need to be moved urgently. Thomas was pretending to be quiet. He didn't want to go. I'm too tired, sir. He yawned. I don't want to go. Can't someone else do it? Sir Topham Hatt stared at him. He's not tired, sir, said Gordon. I know. Go, Thomas, he said. Soon, Thomas was sitting at Knapford Station. That's when Percy came. He rushed through with the mail. Thomas noticed the brake van he was pulling and made him feel dirty. Well, I don't know any other brake van on the island, he thought. when the station master walked up to him. "There's an extra brake van in the yard. That's the one you'll be using this evening." Thomas went to the yard and couldn't find a brake van when he saw a red brake van. "Could it be the brake van?" he whimpered. As he traveled along the main line, the truck kept on pushing and pulling. "Stop it!" Thomas yelled, but it kept on pushing. That's when Thomas looked back and saw that his brake van wasn't there anymore. And the car was frightened as well. It wasn't trying to push. The original plan was for Thomas to stop on the main line and go on the point and continue to his destination. But that didn't happen. He flew into the docks. But Percy was coming along the line. He closed his eyes and hit his brakes. A switchman wasn't fast enough and it all happened at once. The fireworks flew everywhere. "That won't be happy," they said. And they were right. He wasn't. About 2 months later, they were both fixed. Sir Topham Hatt was cross, though. "You two have been causing me trouble," he said. "The ratings on the railway have gone down by a tremendous amount." The 2 tank engines felt terrible. At the sheds, Edward said sorry. He didn't mean to cause any trouble. "I'm sorry, you two," he said. I didn't mean to cause any trouble." "It's fine, Edward," Thomas moaned. "Don't worry," Percy said when Sir Topham Hatt came. "Thomas!" He paused and started again. "I feel bad for thinking you could take those fireworks after you messed up the first," he said. "You are to stay in your shed until you can prove yourself right again in the yard." And he walked away. Do you think Thomas deserves this punishment? Maybe he does. Maybe he doesn't.
Shunting trucks and hauling freight, red and green and brown and blue. They're the really useful crew, all with different roles to play. Around Tidmouth sheds are far away, down the hills and round the bends. Thomas and his friends. Thomas, he's the cheeky one. James is free but lots of fun. Percy pulls the mail on time. Gordon thunders down the line. Emily really knows her stuff. Henry toots and huffs and puffs. Edward likes to help and share. And Toby, well, he's wise and square. They're 2, they're 4, they're 6, they're 8. Shunting trucks and hauling freight, red and green and brown and blue. They're the really useful crew, all with different roles to play. Around Tidmouth sheds are far away, down the hills